Chronicles TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, great.
I don't know nothing about their notice board. I just wiped my hand on it, that's all.
Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time.
I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me, just a sign at the crossroads of life. It was the Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detectives were still dying when we heard the gunshot.
So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of few candles and only a lamp by which to see. We can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise amount of what happened.
That's right, yeah. It don't pay to expect too much.
It's man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think.
Do you, really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody, following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed this crime is Barrick von Zykes. None of the wrangling over the board changes the simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witness despite the circumstance? Most certainly, my lord. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. The mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about that there notice board. I just wiped my hands on it, that's all. Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. Didn't you say about the freaking thing? I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, just a sign across the life. But you did go to see what happened in the room, didn't you?
There's no street is my whole world, and that's all I know. I know all of it. I have to make it business to know if I want to hold my sign up.
So you did go see what happened?
It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it?
Did you notice the notice board in the room?
If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we?
Oh, come on, this guy is not doing a thing.
I suppose I might have tripped it up my rivalry.
Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo simians.
Does that mean that you didn't notice the board?
I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just whatever. In which case, just who was responsible for the moving the notice board?
It was the Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored.
I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when he heard the gunshot.
Hold it! It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it?
Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe... Oh, come on, son! Well, the Reaper's fate is sealed either way because of the gunshot we all heard. So your fate's sealed too.
My fate? That's right. Defense is fated to lose, and the prosecution is to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of the story,
it may be possible to change all our fates.
Of course, none of that changes the fact that I heard what I heard, does it?
Not much to go on. As you pointed out, Mr. Naruhodo, there's no question that the notice board was moved, so somebody must have done it. But it did happen after the event, so maybe Cosmo is right, and it's not relevant to the case. But it seems to have been deliberately positioned as to hide the body from you, so I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this. Yes, I know what you mean. I've no doubt there are some more clues to uncover. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts.
Alright then. Wait, back it up. When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling fireworks?
Yeah, what else? There's the priority school that's just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos, they have got a plan to blow their school the kingdom come. So I've been telling on them, let their teachers know what they're up to.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, so I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks of them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to buy me more. Everyone's happy, see?
What a racket.
Of course, it's something the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's just a busy old life selling explosives.
Venus is a skillful goddess indeed.
Well, telling barefaced lies is the kind of—
Oh! Whoa! Hey, chill with that, yeah?
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If I said it was, we could just leave it at that. Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus' statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts, deep philosophical thoughts. Huh? Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said without batting an eye, tell barefaced lies is kind of my thing, I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of yours be a lie too, or the truth? In which case, she's not a liar. Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? Care to clarify? I'm not certainly sure, to be honest, but it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you?
What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that, and I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. That'll give you straight something to trouble about.
You have startling, disturbing mind behind the sweet, innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Oh, Blabbermouth here, headed for the room where the gunshots seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right, that running liar over there.
Heh.
Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all? Didn't you say you just wanted to go help?
What did I tell you, huh?
Hey, chill with that!
I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I?
Yes, you mentioned it.
Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it?
Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you didn't need visit the scene of crime, did you, long lady? Good grief.
Well, now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah.
Either you clearly remember or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth.
Oh, yes, my lord, of course.
Maybe I did sneak alongside Gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened.
Hold it!
You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus?
Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I take everything I say a big pinch of salt.
Alright, but you did in fact go in the room where the victim was killed in the day in question, didn't you?
Oh, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age curious about stuff, you know?
Did you touch anything at the scene?
Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I had to look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I did give the place over, but it was nothing to write home about.
You didn't have your thing. Right now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh, please. As if I could touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
The truth, please. Get to the point!
Well, alright then. I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. And sorry, flipped the blasted thing.
You're telling us that you did move the board?
I think that did slip out, didn't it?
Oh, but you dare burn apart? I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? To sell?
Oh, please. I should be lucky in my...
The truth, now!
I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. But a bit of junk like this can be worth much if you ask.
Shut up! Gina!
So it was you, was it?
You're the one who took it. Gina? Young lady, may I remind you where you are?
That watch there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case solved 10 years ago. Professor case, no doubt. The boss used to wind up everything without fail when he was waiting for Grout to come out of the pub.
I see.
I swiped it off him and Blimey was upset. He gave me a rifle ear. Said he didn't miss a day in the past 10 years polishing it and winding it. I meant the word to him. That watch did.
Possibly not the best thing to get diving for then.
It's not all that though. I took it jabs the night to ask her how much it worth, but the old dear wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it, said it wasn't working. Knock him about and worthless he called it. I knew I should have lifted it.
That watch must be submitted as evidence at once.
Oh, please, just
shut up!
Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough. Hand the watch to the bailiff forthwith.
Now, children, watch your manners.
Oh, wait a minute. Good lord. The glass appears to be broken. More than likely, it's shattered when the inspector was shot.
It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabbits didn't want it. What a waste.
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard then.
It supports the prosecution's claim, of course.
Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at least. And as predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please. Counsel? Let's see. Hey, we found the thing. Hold up. Hey, chill on me. I said chill on me.
Oh, there's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see it? Yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism.
It looks a little unusual, don't you think?
Yes, you'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine.
Why do I feel as though I've seen something like this? Something about a key that's about the right size to fit this hole.
It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check that carefully over what we already found.
And are we gonna do anything special on it? What's this? There's a tiny little stub sticking out from a small hole here, look.
I suppose there must have been a little knob or something for that thing to sit in time.
In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of the watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it?
Yes, of course.
Which means that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene. Maybe. Open sesame. Open it! Mrs. Otto, do you perhaps think this key could be the key for the Inspector Gregson's watch?
Oh yes, it could be. Let's try it once. Let's not make a moment.
Whatever.
I knew it. A perfect fit. Look, the inspector's watch has started going again. So it has obviously not just been wound up, that's all. What is it, Mr. Sato? Well, if the watch is actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications. Of? She's deep in thought now, or else I better start thinking deeply too. Maybe I did sing along gossip and have a little peek in the room where it happened. I don't know anything about anything, I'm just a bystander across fate of life. As a Reaper, I bet he got the face and screamed the board. I can't see how to change anything. The detective still died when he heard the gunshot. I don't know anything about the notice board, I just wiped my hands on it, that's all. I don't know anything about anything, I'm just a bystander and just how the sign across the board lie. As a Reaper, I bet he's...
Hold it!
Go over it again? You certainly know how to lie. Oh, it was nothing really, just a little porky. With not so little implications. Did you know everything in the world apart from the truth is a big fat lie? If you believe that, of course, I'm lost.
As am I. The discretion of the truth is really rather disturbing. I think perhaps we should move on to the next witness, huh?
I don't know anything, blah blah.
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by that?
Come now, don't tell us your notice. He looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But not notice boards. They're the one thing he likes, you can see in his eyes.
I can't say I ever noticed.
I'll tell you one thing for free, though. I never took my eyes off the man on the floor, or off the Reaper, not a second.
Sorry?
Well, I was that scared, I couldn't. You never know what a feeling like that might do if you look away, do you?
If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board.
Hey, that I can. The Reaper did nothing of the sort. I can throw to that. How could I have missed it? If he heaved the thing upright again and dragged it to the corner.
Right, glad we cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored?
I feel your pain, Kazuma. I can't see how to change anything. Detectives still die when we heard the gunshot.
Then what exactly are we gonna press?
Objection!
Huh. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh? At the scene, we found the key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key. And having unwound the pocket watch, we did discover that it in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And the fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises of the entire case has been built. What? Order? But counsel, the watch will stop at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is when we heard the gunshot.
It is exactly the hour.
The time that was showing in the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It merely is a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock. Even if it's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when the crime was committed. No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago.
The boss used to wind up everything evening without fail when he was waiting for the grub to come at the pub. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did.
The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. Well, if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. In summary,
The evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in the room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean... What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Order, counsel, that's the most extraordinary claim. Extraordinary isn't the word, it's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Did you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that?
Well, on that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission of the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted.
That's right. Wait a minute, you're forgetting that my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my head in the dirty gray puddle of blood. Yes, so the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. He catches on bad, doesn't he? But the blood could be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after he... Does my learned friend think that the fresh blood is available on every street corner?
Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example.
It's certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all.
Objection!
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon, that beyond question. Is it though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim was already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all.
Oh, please, what are you trying to say?
Cause what we heard, it was a loud bang that came from that room. Now you listen to me, a straight saw's ears are his livelihood. I doubt your ears, sir. But all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Explain yourself then, counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with...
Take that!
something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these fake gunshots. Good gracious, the very fireworks that are sold by the witness.
Now, hold on a minute. Are you saying I did? My pretty little firecrackers only made a little pop anyway, see?
Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene? I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was the gun and firecracker, the only person present that caused that bang was Beric von Zykes.
One whiff of the match and my firecrackers go pop. See? It's why people like him.
I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called, a time bomb. Good heavens, a bomb? Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like.
Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident.
No, wait, it's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device? Yes, exactly, a time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of the gunshot long after the culprit had left. Your extravagant claim will have to substantiate with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in a way that the time device was employed to create the gunshot wound?
What time device? The watch? Or the candelabra? What time device?
Take that!
You're suggesting this could have been used as some sort of time delay device? I did think so, my lord. But it's becoming increasingly clear that we've all been very misguided here. Yes, by you. What? Oh well. You got me there. You got me there. The candelabra. As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in the candelabra has been blown off. Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet, which presumably passed through the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord. Not possible. Why? Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle. There are. Goodness, yes. But is that not the case? That there was scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound?
That's right, there was, but as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Which means that the scorching on the candles can't possibly be the result of the gunshot. You're suggesting it came from the fireworks? How can it be? The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. The culprit somehow touched the fireworks at a port way down the candle. And after the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burned down along with the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. And that is how these three witnesses came to believe they heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock.
Well, what a plot. And this implies that the victim could have died earlier than we had led to believe, the previous day even? No. Now get on your horses! A lot of us here saw the victim going into the victim, remember? I couldn't forget that flame color hurt even if I wanted to.
The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Obviously, anybody can wear a wig. So the person that the witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely wearing the redhead hairpiece.
Someone else? Do you mean to say?
It was the same person who contributed the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer. Haha.
Oh, very impressive, Rinosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma?
I'm really quite amazed you come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? I also noted the lack of time of death in this report, a stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Order! Order! Prosecutor Asogi, what on earth do you mean by a statement? I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today, so we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture, but while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have the duty to explore. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. And with that immediately comes to mind, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing and where did he go on the day before the incident?
Do you know?
The inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard, even within the yard. However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd say it's fairly apparent that what case the man was pursuing, wouldn't you, my learned friend?
I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating.
Yes, I agree, surely. My lord, the defense believes it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Inspector Grace at the time of his death. Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector the day prior to the incident? This? Let me see. What evidence suggests of the case being investigated by the investigator the day prior to the incident?
Take that!
Oh wow. Alrighty then. What do I need?
Take that!
I don't know. I got nothing. What he was trying to do. What evidence suggested the case being investigated by the day prior to the incident? The red hair?
Take that!
I believe this red hair piece points to the answer. We might assume it was part of the disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation. Surely not. Such a bright colored hairpiece could have served any inspector made more noticeable. Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League. The Red-Headed League? So, you already worked it out. What on earth is this all about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. A deception of what nature, Counsel? They've been targeting red-headed men across all of London, tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. One of them was a man? My lord, the fence calls for these 2 men to be summoned at once. 2 redheads? Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece, so it's very likely that he had direct contact with these criminals. And it's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. I concur that we cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue explored.
Well done, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us at least. The prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring these 2 Red League conspirators before me, Prosecutor Sogi. At once, my lord. Very good. We will have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
Like, comment, subscribe. Chronicles Exhibit, I'm signing out.